Live on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Thank you so much for taking out time today and be here with me today on my
Yeah.
podcast. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Sanjay. I
Yes,
hope I pronounced it so well. I
yes, yes.
am so humbled to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to impact lives and what you do. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I remember we connected on LinkedIn months back and
Yes,
we discussed about this. And today we are
yes,
live. So
yes.
for the people
Good.
who are watching us live or maybe on a replay later,
Mhm.
Glory is joining us from Africa, and to give you the details of what she does and why she's here today. So, Glory, introduce yourself in your own words. Tell us where are you joining us from, and I was really inspired, when I met you for the first time over that call. You have a young kid, and no, your commitment to pursue your dreams really inspired me. So take your time and introduce yourself about you and your work. We are happy to hear.
Okay. I'm called Glory Nakato Lauren. I am married. I have a baby. She's 6 months now. Right now, she's just there in the background. I am married to my dear husband, David. And we live in Nigeria right now. I am born again. I love Jesus. I am a certified life coach and mentor, and I'm soon going to pursue a master's in sociology and research. I am passionate about changing lives and seeing people grow. So I am here, and I'm so blessed that you've given me this opportunity to come and talk to people.
Thank you, dear. And yeah, so that's how the invitation to be a guest on this show. No, I was so inspired by your commitment as a mother and as a ambitious woman to impact people that brings both of us here. And every day, day in day out, we see many women do this, and that really encouraged me to pursue what I want to achieve or do with my life. And happy to have another soul with a similar vision and a similar ambition. And we are here to talk about leadership. We are here to talk about purpose. So before we get into the conversation itself, what inspired you dedicate your life to helping others grow?
Um, what inspired me personally? I grew up with my dad. My dad was a person that loved helping people. So growing up, I saw him bringing people from the streets, like even at a young age. He would bring them home, feed them, and he would tell them, "Oh, that's your auntie, that's your uncle." And then he would take these people to school. So for me as a child, I saw that and it really helped my upbringing that we have to be there for people. And then I started maturing, I started knowing things um, in the spiritual aspect and encountering God personally. He revealed who I am in the dimensions of the spiritual things into a spiritual, I don't want to go too deep. But that inspired me, okay, God has a plan for me over my life. And I would love to just set my life out there. And God told me, trust me, if you are going to impact lives, I will use you. And from that time, for the last 10 years, that is what I've been doing. Just seeing people grow and seeing them mature, go through progress, heal, restore, be impacted. For the previous 10 years, I've been doing that even before I was certified in my community, the church, in my profession as an administrator, when I'm at work, even in my neighborhood. And it's not that I am better than everybody. It is just that I'm willing to be awakened, to just see a change in the world. And I think all of us can do that if we're intentional about.
Beautiful. And very beautifully you shared about the spiritual side of it, like you're here for a reason, and that itself is um, a great deal, that no, we don't have to worry. No, we are on the path and we are guided. and by the Creator, and we are doing the work and we are enjoying this journey. So, thank you so much for sharing that inspiration, really inspired by your father as well. Now let's look at self awareness. Play what kind of role it does play in the spiritual growth and personal transformation. As a life coach and a consultant, what you have to share. You're on mute, Glory. I am not able to hear you.
Okay. Can
Yeah.
you hear me now? Sorry
Yes.
about that.
Yeah.
Okay. You asked a question and said, what role does self-awareness play in spiritual growth and personal transformation? Am I right?
Yes. Yes. That's the one.
Okay. So spiritual self-awareness is understanding your purpose. You know, who are you? What what are your interests? What are you born to do? What inspires you? What are your dreams? You're aware of who you are and what you have to be. And that means you know your purpose, you know your identity, and you know your visions and dreams. So,
Mm-hmm.
so when you know these things, you set boundaries. Because in the world we live right now, there are so many things that can make you compromise. Social media, injustices, things that are happening around the country, customs and culture. So when you don't build yourself to know, okay, I am called Glory, I love impacting lives, I want to see a change, there will be obstacles. There'll be things that can put you out. I see this in many people, young people, even people who have grown. They come with blocks at work or things that put them down and they just give up because they've not matured to a place of to say, this is who I am and I'm going to no matter the obstacles. And I believe knowing yourself to the core helps you stand strong, stand resilient, and you keep pushing, no matter the challenges. Because there are so many voices out there. Some voices will say you're not supposed to be a girl, you can change and become a boy. Some voices will say, oh, you're not good enough, you're so fat. You're too this. It is okay to be healthy, but at what extent? To the point that you're going to lose the identity of who you are. So when you are self-aware, I am a woman, I love men, I love Jesus, I love praying, I love writing, I love this. That means when somebody comes and is trying to poison your mind, you stand and say, no, I don't compromise. I believe important to be self-aware.
Hmm. Very beautiful. I think
Yes,
being self-aware and knowing yourself is, I think, the best place to be, and something that we can keep working on every day, because it's always work in progress. There's no, no, I would say, zero or one kind of logical answers. But yeah, there are things that when you know your values, when you know your you have a vision and you have an intention behind, you feel
yes,
sorted. You are less confused, less diluted, I would say distracted. You're more
yes,
on the path, a focused path, and more intentional, and working on getting more clear on what you want to
yes.
get done.
That's very true. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about how has your faith or your spiritual journey, like you said you have worked with your father, and how that has shaped the way you lead and coach others.
Okay. To be precise and to be clear, I hope I'm okay to talk about my faith. I am a born again. I am a Christian. I love Jesus. Everything in me. That's my faith alignment. And knowing Jesus has helped me understand the person of Jesus Christ. The person of Jesus Christ is a servant. He was a servant to people. He performed miracles, he healed the sick, he demonstrated power, he was always there for the poor. He started Like, let's say, talk about the leadership aspect. He had 12 disciples and he kept teaching them every day. He washed their feet. And that is a heart of a service person. And I look at Jesus and I look at his character. Even with so much power, he had meekness and humility. And through that, personally, that is how I serve. What would Jesus do? I extend grace. I extend. You deal with people, and people they will make mistakes. I've been mentoring people for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Different people have different characters, different background attributes. Sometimes they take long to accept, sometimes it can be patient with them. And I look at Jesus and I'm like, what would Jesus do? And I go back to the word of God. That is the Bible. Jesus did like this. When a person was like this, he would be like this. And that is what I give back to people. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning, but I try to adopt through faith, learning every day, relearning every day. Okay, I can do this. As a leader, you forgive. As a leader, you are gracious. As a leader, you believe in people. Let me tell you, all of us need someone who can believe in you and say, you can do it. And that is how faith has helped me as a leader to shape other people.
Beautiful. So, the shepherd, the mentor, the guide, someone who has maybe, we can say walk the path and is on the way forward and just helping others, get better at what they're doing and being more clear and
Mm,
more, uh, enjoying their life as they are living, you know, the kind of purpose and the value that they can add to this planet
mhm.
and the people. So before we run into the further questions, I want to know quickly, being a coach, who are the people you help and what kind of programs or services do you offer? So if someone is watching this, no, would like to connect, so or want to learn from you, so tell us a little bit about the work in the coaching and the consulting uh,
Okay.
area. Yeah.
As a life coach, mainly I help people align to purpose,
Mm-hmm.
people to understand, how to build their confidence, align to purpose. How can I find my vision? How can I find my dream? How can I align my purpose? I don't know what to do. Should I do this? So we go through a lot of, we talk about your purpose, we align it. I hold your hand, I'm accountable with you, I help you mature. What can you add? How can you grow your skills? Can you tally these things? I help people heal. I've written a book about the healer. I'm an author, so I've gone through a share of grief because I lost my parents when I was young. I have gone through things in relationship and all that. I help people heal and you really come out of trauma, come out from giving up of themselves. And when I stop, literally, I help organizations grow, businesses grow. So if somebody's out there and these things speak to them, they can always.
Beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing. So people who are watching this or listening can, connect with you. They feel, the resonance and the need to learn more. All right. So Glory, moving on, I want to know, like, what are the most common limiting beliefs people carry? What you have to say?
Um, hmm, to be honest with you, I can tell you that there are so many things that can limit us.
Hmm.
Background, the
Hmm.
way we children are raised. There are things that, let me say, for example, you're from a culture and people carry trauma as parents to their
Hmm.
children. Oh, for us who were poor, we didn't go to certain schools, we didn't access this, and they carry this to their children and say, for us, in our time, this is how we are doing things. And you're limiting the child from
Hmm.
exposure, from growth. Whatever you did receive, you are like telling them that they have to go through that process to be strong, to be resilient.
Yeah.
And this is a growing world, and children are limited. So that is the aspect of parent that can limit the generation we're raising. really upholding what they have to be. The other thing is pain, grief, trauma. All those things can kill the true self of who you are, because you start limiting yourself, you start doubting yourself, you start you have to think like, oh, I can't be this because of you. I've seen people connect. I've seen cases of people that come to me and say, "Oh, um, I lost, I lost maybe somebody, like maybe I lost a relative or I lost a friend, and I feel like I can't go on with life anymore." That is a belief, but you have to know that life has to move on. There's so much in you. If you have grieved, you can heal and use that to help other people.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So you can use whatever has broken you to help other people. Personally, I've gone through grief, I've gone through making mistakes, but you rise up. So you need to believe that you can. There are things
Yeah.
that limit us from believing in ourselves by the way we downsize ourselves, we look at, and also like the countries we come from, somebody says, oh, you're an African, you can never be anything. Who said? Where is it written? No, 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 no. You can be anything you want to be if you believe in yourself. So it's not about culture, it's not about the country, the norm. No. You believe, you go add value in yourself, you sharpen your talents and skills. If an opportunity offers itself, you go all in and you push yourself. So I believe you have to believe in ourselves. I believe we should have our culture, our tribes, our backgrounds, our past mistakes limit us from going forward.
Beautiful. Thank you for this reminder, because see, these conversations make a lot of sense when I bring in people from different cultures, and no, and I remember getting this from my mentor, like, no, human problems are same everywhere. It is not limited to a certain region, or a country or a
Yeah,
geography. It is just the same. So when different guests from different regions, they have the same voice, the same, like, it's all about you, it's all about the belief
yeah,
that you have. And the limits is what we set for ourselves. Nobody has set
yeah.
that for us. So thank you for that reminder. So let's move on, and let's talk about what are some simple professional habits that can accelerate career growth. So if there is something that you want to advise professionals, like what can help, or what kind of habits they can create in their life
Okay.
that will help in their
Mhm.
growth.
Okay. Um, I believe one of the things is having something you believe in is very important. It might be, for me personally, it is faith in Jesus. It's something
Yeah.
that carries me every day. Because the world we live in, there are challenges, we live in a fallen world. For me, it is faith. And every day I wake up, pray is how I start my day. I pray, I study my word, and I ask the Holy Spirit, how do I go about this day? What do I do to improve this? And when He gives me instructions, I follow. That is number one for me personally. And I would guide people to find God created us to have faith in Him
Mm.
because He knows us. He has the download. The word of God has a download to tell who you are. If you go and read the book of Proverbs, it will teach you wisdom, intelligence, diligence. Like, how do you handle a company? Just go the Bible and open it and read Proverbs. You will see this there. So you find people don't have any guidance, they don't have any compass, they don't know where they are going. They are just they don't have anything holding them as a foundation to guide their character, to guide who they have to be. And the other thing is to be self.
Mm.
Nobody is going to tell you you're beautiful. Nobody is going to tell you convincingly, because people will tell you you're beautiful. If you're a young girl and you're not married, they might be lying because they want something else. So I remember my dad telling me when I was young, you have to know that you're beautiful. Not because of this inside you. You're
Yeah.
beautiful. And I held on to that as a young child, as a young girl entrepreneur. So believe in yourself that you're intelligent, that you can fulfill that goal. Before anybody comes to tell you, build
Yeah.
that self-awareness that you can. Be coming to that thing, be focused, build yourself, refine your skill, refine your talents, go back to school. I have a 6 month baby, but I'm pursuing masters. I want to go for masters in psychology. Nothing should limit you. People keep. I got married. They become comfortable. I got a baby. I became no. Push yourself. It's not easy. But this world is very competitive. You have to keep increasing. You have to keep improving. You have to keep doing better. So discipline,
Yeah.
truth and integrity. How do you treat someone's business when they're not seeing you? Because you find some workers, because I'm not the boss, I'm not the employee, they misuse internet, they misuse material, they misuse extra people. They're on social media. The internet is paid for you to do work. And because the boss is not there, you don't have integrity, you're doing your own things. That is not have integrity, be a hard worker, respect the customer of the company, and be faithful for what has been trusted to you. And you'll say, God bless your hands because you're faithful. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this. Really a great motivation for all the people listening. And I see there are many people watching this live. And thank you so much for all the people here with us in this conversation. So, Glory, before we move ahead, and I have one or two more questions for you. I want you to share, where are you most active on social media, so that if someone wants to reach you, what are the best channels or best places that they can connect?
I'm on LinkedIn. I am on Instagram. I think I shared my handles with you. I'm not able to access them here, but I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Great.
So yeah.
So do share those links. I would drop them in the description. So if people want to connect with you,
Um,
not now, later after this
okay.
conversation. Okay.
Sure. Yes.
So moving on, I think maybe this could be some final question. So in your experience, how does personal growth impact leadership effectiveness?
Okay. Um, First of all, if I'm to talk about personal growth goes extensively, whereby you don't limit yourself because of age, and you have to keep improving yourself every day. You need to relearn and learn. You need to be teachable. Because there are people who are proud because they've achieved certain things and they feel like, oh, a girl who is like 25 can't teach me 50 years. And especially Africans, this is where we think we are not open-minded. We are limited to teachability and all the things. We carry this thing. I am older.
Hmm.
In Nigeria, they say, "Oh God, calm down." It's okay to learn from anybody. It's okay as long as you know there's construction in that person. It takes humility to learn. It takes submissiveness to learn. To be corrected. So when those things are put in place, you will grow as a person. You need to add skills to yourself. You need to go back to school. Right now, there are so many people out there that are releasing content. But
Hmm.
when people go on social media, it won't clear your mind of improving yourself. You will not, the algorithm of content only brings things that you follow. So internet is there on Instagram, you find people that add value to you. That is if you
Yeah.
follow the algorithm. So wherever you are, open your mind to learn, to grow, and add value to yourself. That's what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And this is my final question. What is your advice to young people entering the workforce today?
Yeah. Um, Young people right now in the workforce, I would encourage them. Self awareness is important. Have faith in God. I don't know your definition of the God but me, I will keep on saying, Jesus is my God. So have faith. Young people these days are so proud. We tend to down look the generation that has passed. We say, we are better than them. No, we should learn from them too because they know the world. The Bible says that the more somebody grows gray hair, the more wisdom they have. Let us learn from generations that have gone ahead of us and keep ourselves in certain boundaries as the youth. Yes, we can grow with no social media, with no technology, but let us stay home and respect our elders and learn one, two, three things. As the youth, be teachable, be humble, refine yourself, take care of the associations you have. Don't go for peer pressure. People on social media, they want to be like Kim Kardashian. No offense. They're running their businesses out there. They have their life. Their life is a show and they are making money out of it. But you are shooting all the time on social media watching Kim Kardashian. Okay, in your leisure time you can, but set your priorities. You have time every hour to add value to your mind. What can you pour to other people? Do you add value to society? Because the more you pour in yourself, the more you release to other people. Be an impact. Mind your time and associations that you have with people because you are with people that are misleading you, they don't believe in purpose, they are messing up with your life. So you have to be wise in all these things.
Great. Thank you, Glory. This was a wonderful conversation. There are so many takeaways. Like, I may have to repeat the entire session, but definitely people listening live or over a replay will have many takeaways. So thank you, Glory, and I loved it, and I could connect with so many aspects, like because we are following, being a coach, we can
Yeah.
understand like what we walk the
Mhm.
talk. So thank you for the reminder, and looking forward to see you again, maybe another conversation later. uh, but
So,
for now, yeah, but for now I uh, would like to say goodbye, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
thank
Bye.
you so much. I am so grateful.